a usual presentation. It's more like a history lesson, but I think it's a history lesson that you'll enjoy, because what I have here is an FM tuner that I built when I was 25 years old, and that was in 1961. And you couldn't buy an FM tuner. And I'm not going to answer any questions until I get a little bit farther along, and then I promise you I'll answer. But you couldn't buy an FM tuner because there were not transistors that would oscillate at the FM frequency. Do you know what the word frequency means? Like high and low. Well, that's frequency, and they could not make transistors. I'm going to give you each a transistor, and this will be very valuable someday, but they could not make transistors like this that would oscillate at high enough frequencies. And one of my first jobs here in Santa Barbara was to try to make transistors that would oscillate at high frequencies so that you could have television sets. The TV frequency is the same as the FM frequency, and you could have television sets that would work at the high frequency. Up until then, they used a terrible situation, which was called a vacuum tube, and electrons would hit the screen here and make a picture. And when I was your age, the television sets were bigger than this box because they had to put tubes, vacuum tubes. I don't even have one anymore, but they would put tubes inside there rather than transistors in order to make them function as a television set. Well, that's so old that I couldn't even find a tube to show you, but this is what the screen looked like, and now you all have, where'd my iPhone go?
It's on the
Oh, covered it up. Well, now we all have all of this stuff micro miniaturized into a tiny little, it's called a circuit board inside this iPhone. I lost my iPhone in Anchorage 2 days ago, and you know I was lost because I don't remember phone numbers anymore. I don't even remember my wife's phone number or my son's phone number. I had to, it was terrible. So this has all changed in your lifetime. And the thing is, it's changing so fast that I don't even understand it anymore. I have a PhD in physics, and I don't understand exactly what they're doing, and you probably never will, and don't let that make you feel bad. Just understand some of the basics. If you pick an education, pick out the things that you enjoy, because that's what you're going to be good at. You'll never be, I would never be good enough to make one of these things anymore, but 50 years ago, my job was to make the transistors, which were the predecessors of what we see in here. So that's what I want to tell you about.